When the habit of statement becomes addiction, the philosopher dies and slaves are purchased. So the philosopher avoids politics and statements, like the recovering alcoholic avoids the saloon. There is no more coming home with the drunken delusion of knowing. You think everyone is asleep, but we are all awake waiting for you at this late hour, and the statements we regurgitate against you cause us to sit motionless on a dying past. We wait, as philosophers are the cute animals that run in circles after the tail of endless questions, and we are amused while observing, eating garbage, and projecting thoughtless gang gophers as leaders on a screen of commentary. The inspector comes to get a statement at the scene of a crime, but instead of a crime, the inspector finds an average citizen unwilling to give any statements now, as what we are doing is legal, and the fewer the questions asked, the more drunk the citizens become. Are these citizen statements usually esoteric plays of symbolism and allegiance? Are questions which examine personal habits, consequences of our own beliefs, choices, and actions left to the philosophers who are duly interrogated by false inspectors of purchased laws? Do the philosophers exist as people, or the questions they ask, the questions that each one of us rightfully owns? The children in the playgroup were getting off and on that flat spinning disc with the U-shaped bars that you lean against. They were often called roundabouts or playground merry-go-rounds, but you don't see them much anymore. Many of us who remember this might recall the violence of children getting pushed off a fast spin and hitting the ground with a thud. My philosopher child, Heather, is once again sent home from the playgroup. "Heather, what happened this time?" She explains. "This big boy told me to get off the roundabout. He called me ugly, and he pushed me off. So when the thing started spinning really fast, and I wasn't on the ride but he was, from the ground I grabbed his arm, pulled with all my might, and he came flying off and hit the concrete. 'Heather!' I shouted. 'Look, I don't mind being pushed off by him, and I didn't mind that he thinks I'm ugly, but he should have asked me a question like, "Why are you so ugly?" or "Why do you think you should be on here?" Then I could have asked him a question like, "Ugly as compared to what? By what standard? Or who put this contraption on this playground? And for what reason?" He could have allowed me that, and then we could have averted all of this violence. Instead, he just made a statement, and he started this violence by pushing me off. "And you continued it, Heather," I pointed out. "No, I ended it," said Heather. "You need to write a letter of apology," I informed her. Heather will compose a very long, rambling letter of apology, which will include many questions that adults will not even bother to read. The philosopher keeps picking up the questions as our earth rolls down the steep hill of time, picking up momentum, speeding toward the next philosopher and the next stage of unreason, until questions explode at the uncertain bottom of artificial intelligence with a certain loss of freedom. What will it take for us to truly consider the philosopher in this ever-changing reality that we live in? But what if the existence we live in is itself more like a statement than a question?